The topic today is adding what to do. What should you be doing to be getting your first client? What would we do if we could look back and go do it again? And then what do we do to get a client? Maybe you're going through a dry season and it feels like you haven't signed a client in 6 months, 3 months, which doesn't have to be your typical norm, isn't the average industry norm. But let's say for whatever reason, life has happened and you haven't signed a client or you're looking for that first client. What do you do? For context, Megan did some math a couple months ago and found that there's 5 million new businesses started each year. What is that, Phil?
Somewhere around there. I don't remember the exact total, but yeah.
Okay, don't
millions of millions of businesses every year in the United States are started.
Yeah, a lot. And then we found that there are 300,000 bookkeepers total in the United States. And when we did the math, that means every bookkeeper has the potential to sign at least 16 clients a year. So if every bookkeeper was signing clients and not signing more than 16 or whatnot, you're going to definitely have firms, CPA firms, that sign more than 16 clients a year. You're going to have some bookkeepers who are like, I can run a fantastic, flexible, stable business and sign a client a quarter. So they're signing 4 clients a year to maintain their business or to get started. We'll have others that want to do 1 a month, and maybe they sign somewhere between 10 and 16 a year. Yeah, so with that, there are plenty for you. There is no competition in bookkeeping, and that is the math on why we say that, and been saying that for years. And there doesn't need to be any scarcity mindset either. So for anyone but everyone's doing this, it feels like now I've gotten into this and I see that it's been done before and everyone's doing it. This isn't something new. I'm not unique and there's no way I can make money as a bookkeeper. Go pull up a lawn chair, sit in the bread aisle, and think about that statement. You can, if bread companies compete on bread, you can compete on, not to mention if you include the gluten-free breads and the yeast-free breads and all of those things. So add in the freezer section if you get bored. Okay, so first client, Megan. We do not have an audience. This is to the person who day one, no one knew I was doing a bookkeeping business. I didn't even dare tell my friends or family that I was doing it. So first clients, assuming you have no audience, how do you even find business owners? Where should you be? Do you have to be everywhere? And what does everywhere mean? Megan, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, lots of thoughts. So when I first started my business, one of the first books that I read was 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. One of the things he says is if you're wanting to grow your business, reach your goals, you have to be everywhere. Everybody has to know about you. But I think take that with a grain of salt at the same time, because that also doesn't mean if you don't know how to use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, that you're going to be learning all of these platforms and trying to grow a business and learn bookkeeping and do all that at one time. I think how I took that when I listened to it was I knew Facebook already. So I made sure I showed up everywhere, every place I could on Facebook from that standpoint and did everything that I could there. So I was adding new friends on Facebook, getting in groups, making posts, building relationships. I was going to in-person networking groups. So posting on Facebook, posting in the groups like constantly and doing tons of it. So I think you need to find how you want to start and really focus and spend a lot of time on trying to grow your audience there, whether it's in-person networking, whether it's social media, whether it's Upwork, whether it's whatever, and spend a lot of time growing an audience there. But also know, hey, I've done this for 60 days. I don't have a client. There are other options too. There's so many ways to build your business.
When we say be everywhere, Megan said pick one. In essence, she picked one platform. When I was doing SEO for a small business, when I was in high school, college, when he meant everywhere. And that meant like posting on Dig and Tumblr and Reddit and Quora and you guys, the list goes on, right? That was the old school form of doing SEO and being everywhere. And that was designed to help you show up in search. Google has come a long way. And I know there have been times where I'm like, maybe the answer is just no, it's not, because you can spread yourself too thin. And now you're spending 40 hours a week just trying to market your business, and you don't have any time for sales calls or really talking to people. The ultimate goal of showing up is to have conversations. It is to add value. It is to help other business owners. And if you show up with generosity being your goal, Megan mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. She made a comment about just being service oriented. And Megan, I think that might have been a conversation between you and I, but there's a book on my shelf called Go Giver. I don't know the author, but it's called Go Giver. Super helpful book to read if you're interested in that. One of the pillars in that book, as you read through it, is the pillar of generosity. And so as we're helping other business owners and they're looking at you saying, what do I do with my bookkeeping? Why do I need it? Do I even need bookkeeping? When you start taking a service-oriented approach to help serve them, help them grow their business, it no longer becomes about you needing the client, right? I need 4 clients, how am I going to get that? And that puts you in a very different mindset than serving those business owners. By serving the business owners, you generate conversations. Jeff asked, when you're requesting friends on Facebook, do you create a bookkeeping page on Facebook? It's like a business page, or do you add them to your personal page? Megan did her personal page for sure.
Yep. So I have a business page set up and I post on there. I invite people there, but I use my personal page because I feel like you have a little bit more leeway, like to be able to trick the algorithm in a sense, to be able to add friends, for them to be able to see your posts, those sort of things. Whereas your business page, you're just stuck a little bit more where people aren't seeing those posts as often. I would definitely say do both.
When I started posting on my personal page, because I already had friends that were supporting me and doing business anyway, that did help me build community with my already existing community as a start. It's not that they were commenting or liking, but they were seeing it. And so when anyone in the community had a question about taxes or their business or whatever, I was the one that got tagged in the groups. So-and-so would see someone post a question, I would get tagged even if I wasn't in the group, and then I'm getting an invite to the group. Yeah, I'm gonna join and answer questions, right? Or I would get a message saying, hey, so-and-so tagged you in this other group. I'm looking for help for this. And they became my first set of like affiliate marketers without any pay, just because they knew someone who could help someone else. And so I did a lot of answering questions for free, just because someone would tag me, wasn't really a fit for me, wasn't really what I needed, like wasn't a fit for my business. They didn't need bookkeeping. They needed a financial planner, or they needed a CPA, or they needed someone in a different skill set, but I showed up to every question. If I could help, I just pointed them, I gave them the resource to help with the next one. Okay. So you have posting on Facebook, you have posting on groups, and what then do you post? So I stalked Megan because she's really good at posting on Facebook, and I noticed that she really has 3 pillars when she posts content, and she sticks to 3 pillars. And Megan, I hope I haven't made you feel self-conscious of these pillars. But
nope, nothing's changed. I still do it.
She naturally posts things about her and her family. So her and her daughter, competition, twirling, things like that, because it builds engagement and it's just part of who she is. And she wants those memories. She wants to share her daughter's success. Her daughter is appreciative of it. So it makes sense for her to post her family and everything related to that. She posts about her bookkeeping business. She posts about bookkeeping, and she posts about how it's given her financial freedom. She then posts, motivational, encouragement, sermons, anything that falls in this like motivational, inspirational category. All 3 of those things. You do not see her ever post a funny cat video. It's not in those pillars. The only reason she would post it is if it was underneath one of those pillars. So a cat meme talking about bookkeeping, a meme her daughter shared, and she's sharing it because her daughter shared it. So it would fall then under family, and it would make sense under the family context. Anything else she posts would confuse her audience, and they'd be like, why are you posting about your skincare routine? It wouldn't make sense for her audience. They'd be like, Megan, you've lost your mind.
Yeah, I'm sure I would get tons of questions. What are you doing now?
Why are you doing this now? Megan posts multiple times a day. And you've been posting a lot.
I've been posting a lot again. I'll tell you all this. When I first started my business, and I mentioned the 10X rule by Grant Cardone, one of the things that he says is whatever you think the average person is doing, if you want to be above average and have a successful business, you need to be doing 10X whatever they're doing. So my first thought at the beginning was, oh, I'm going to post every day, every other day, something like that. And that's how I'd started. Then I'm like, okay, nope, obviously I'm not posting enough. So 5 to 10 times a day, every day is what I was posting. Do I slack off on that? Yes. Sometimes, but again, now I'm posting a lot again because I'm trying to grow client base again and just back and forth.
And yes, she does all of that on her personal page. Megan, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm answering for you.
No, that's okay. Yes, I do it all on my personal page. Do you ever share your business Facebook page? Yes, I'll share my business Facebook page. I also will invite my friends on my friends list to my business Facebook page, and I'll copy and paste some of the posts. I don't ever share the post from my Facebook page because those don't get seen as much when you share it versus an actual copy and paste post. But I'll copy and paste between the two. So if I post it on my personal, I'll post it on my business page. If it's business related, it'll go on my business page. If it's the personal stuff, I don't post that on my business page. So like my daughter, I can see pictures of my daughter and all that on my business page. Any suggestions on business name and how to use CFO services to make my business a difference maker? I was a CFO. Yeah, you can definitely provide CFO level services to any of the bookkeeping clients for sure. You can do outsource CFO work. Chat GPT would be a great suggestion to come up with names.
Yeah, I would, Jeff, when you're thinking of your business name, think about your end goal. So as a CFO, a lot of businesses ultimately want to sell their business if they're creating an asset. So you might, if that's your goal, you might not use your personal name in the business. If you're wanting to build like a personal brand, you might use your name. If you're only wanting to serve local, you might pick a local name, like here in Albuquerque Bookkeeper or whatever. We have a naming guide in the Bookkeeper Blueprint as well, where I walk you through some of that and how to, if you're concerned about SEO, paying attention to the SEO on it. But I would take a couple of those into suggestions. And then you can always like, are you wanting something brandable? I gave a website, what is it called? The name escapes me right now. I use it all the time. It's like brand name or something. No, it's not. The name escapes me, and I was on the website like last week. And so I apologize for that. But if you Google create a brand name for my business, you can come up with a naming generator, and it will actually bring up logos and let you know if the .com is available, if that's a concern to you, or if the .co or .biz or whatever you're wanting is available for you. So that's some ways to do brainstorming. You can use ChatGPT to help refine after you have a couple of ideas or know where you want to head. And you can tell ChatGPT saying, hey, I'm a CFO. I'm looking to serve XYZ, and I want to target a local name in this area, or I want to not have my name, and be very specific with what your goal is with it and work with it, discuss with it on the brainstorming, and it will help you get there. The paid version is a little better, in my opinion, for actually getting results and like really having that discussion with it. But every now and again, I don't want to log in, and I'll just use the free version if I'm looking for a quick help my brain start working. But as far as our goal today is how to get a client by December, you don't even have to have a name for your business to get a client by December. You don't have to have a website. You don't have to have your Facebook page, your business page. You don't have to have that set up to get a client by December. Your ultimate goal is to have conversations. And anytime I mention that, I see bookkeepers retreat physically, like, oh, I don't want to do that. And we get it. It's a lot of work to have conversations, but you don't have to have them on the phone first. You can have them over Messenger. You can have them over the chat conversations. Our
I
goal
did
is
tons of that.
yeah, and it's actually fun because especially if you play games on your phone ever. I found that when I was growing my business, my husband was playing a game where you go buy land around you and you buy the land in the game, real life land, like you buy the gas station up the street or whatever. I was like, but here I am on my phone making money because I'd be having lead to clients, and that's really being service based, saying, hey, do you do bookkeeping? How is your QBO set up? Hey, I saw you had this question about your mileage in XYZ Facebook group. My clients have found XYZ app helpful. Is that something? Can I help you set that up? Like just really being service oriented in your conversations. Or, hey, I recorded a training on how to do mileage tracking in QBO and how to work out all the bugs with it. Feel free to check this out and collect their email and then nurture them over email if you wanted to set that up. But again, client by December, you don't have to do that. We just need to send the Loom link, let them watch the video, and then follow up. Hey, did you get a chance to watch that video? What'd you think? And it doesn't have to be about mileage. It can be about anything. Your goal is just to have conversations with business owners, preferably either looking to use or wanting to use QuickBooks Online or whatever accounting software you want to use. So if you're using Xero or something like that, you're going to want to get people to raise their hands like, hey, I'm done with QBO. I want to use Xero. Hey, my bookkeeper has completely messed up my QBO. You can fix it. And then what are the needs? You can do this by just getting people on free like interviews. Hey, I'm looking to understand what your frustration is with QBO. Let me know. And your goal there isn't necessarily to sell them. Your goal there is to get information. That way you can start making Facebook posts around it. You can make a training. Hey, I had 5 people in a role tell me this, and I'm going to address it with a training. And then for a week, you're going to, hey, I recorded a training. Hey, I've addressed this question. Did you know that I've been asking my audience this, and this is what you guys all said? Do you feel this way too? Right now, we have a video challenge going on where our goal is to get you in front of people watching the videos on Facebook. So Megan said, be everywhere on Facebook. What's a part of Facebook? Reels, stories. You can be utilizing that. The other day, I was shown a story from someone that I haven't seen, talked to, interacted for years. She was starting a new business, posted a story. It got popped up on my feed. I saw it, moved on, wasn't relevant to me. She showed up in my messenger saying, hey, I saw you saw this story. Are you interested in XYZ? No, and that was a bit spammy. So I'm not saying do that. But my point there is you can say, hey, I saw you saw this story. Are you currently using QBO? I'm just collecting information for my audience. But my point there ultimately is people that don't normally see your post on your business page or your post on Facebook, because I haven't seen her stuff in any other form, will see stories, or they might see your reel, because Facebook is going to say, hey, who's interested in this piece of content? And they're going to test it. And it's going to get in front of a different set of audience than your post will. So that's what we mean by be everywhere. If someone's looking for the questions that you're able to answer, be everywhere. And that's what I did when I was growing my business, is I decided, where are business owners looking for bookkeeping? Where are they going to go? If they have no connections, where are they going to go looking for a bookkeeper? And I made sure I was there. And that might be different for your location than it was for mine.
And it could also be different for the niche that you're looking, if you have a specific industry you're looking to work with too.
Yep. So do you know about a local networking group? Does your church help people start businesses? Can you do a training there? Can you do a in-person training for someone? That might scare you out of your boots. That's okay. You don't have to. But for the person who's, I have been doing presentations for years in corporate. I would love to get in front of a group of people. You can do that too. You can host a training at a hotel. You can host a training at a breakfast joint and invite people and just say, hey, we're going to network today. You can start a networking group. Megan, you and some business owners started a networking group that you were a part of, a large part of.
Yeah. So it was the very first in-person networking meeting I went to, but I searched on Facebook looking for a group of in-person networking group. I was working full time, so my schedule was crazy. So I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do BNI. What other options are there out there? Found this group who was another group of, it was a small group at the time, business owners who wanted to meet in person. They liked the idea of BNI, but they were still working full time as well, trying to make their businesses grow. And they needed something that was going to be in the evening time, not once a month versus every week. So they would go to dinner once a month, and I met up with them. It was like 3 people the very first time I met up. And then now the group has like hundreds in it and local, and they do like a trunk or treat every year where the business owners go out and hand out candy to the kids in the community and different things like that. So yeah, there's options out there, and it's can be as simple as I literally made a post in one of our neighborhood pages, like what's going on in the parish. Hey, is there any in-person networking groups? And that's how I found it. And if you don't have that, it's as simple as even making something like that. Hey, even if you're work from home mom and you want to do a play date with the kids, hey, I'm a business owner. Let's get the kids together on such and such date and meet up at Chick-fil-A and let the kids play and y'all talk business. Like you can start your own thing if there's not something like that in the area, because if you want it, other people do too.
Guys, I joined a mom group here, and it is, I don't know why I haven't left it. It's a large mom group here. It is like the main mom group in Albuquerque, and it is run, and not to be offensive at all, but it is run by a real estate agent who is an older male, and it is creepy.
A
Like, and he
mom's group.
a mom's group, and it is run by a guy who's pitching his real estate business, and it is
Okay.
a little odd. And sometimes he'll post that stuff, and you're like, I'm not comfortable being in this group. It's like, and it's not because he's male, it's just the way he's doing it. So be mindful of that. But mom groups are a great way. And speaking of Chick-fil-A, don't be afraid to go to those places, especially if you have kids. I've been going to Chick-fil-A just off and on, especially when I'm like, I've had a busy day. The kids need food, they need to play, because my kids eat the chicken there, and like they do the grilled chicken nuggets. And so it's protein. And I'm like, great, they're protein, fruit, and they get to play for a little bit. And so it's working for a little bit for us right now. And I do engage with moms that are there. And so one day, and my kids will connect with other kind kids. They're not really tolerant of like kids that are just mean. And they'll be like, we're ready to go. They're not being nice in there. But the days where we find kids that are being nice, they'll connect with them. No, I'm not from Albuquerque, but I can speak to that in cohorts there. I met a mom, our kids connected with her little boy, and over some toys or something, and started playing together, and we did the whole eye contact thing and made a joke about the kids or whatever, and I went about what I was doing. I think I actually had my computer there that day, so I wasn't being super social, but I wasn't not being social because I was talking to her just a little bit. I went to go leave and pack up all of my kid stuff and things, and she came over and found out she was new to Albuquerque and her son was new, and they didn't really have any play people to hang out with. And as a younger than preschooler son, she needs some play dates. We exchanged numbers, and not every person you exchange numbers with is going to follow up and follow through. But we did meet up at the park and played and things like that, and actually made a connection with her brother-in-law is starting a electrician business or something like that. Like, just that, those are the conversations I'm talking about. And obviously going to play dates, trying to do 100 play dates or whatever your target is in conversations before December. Maybe it's just 50, maybe it's 20. Maybe play dates are hard to, you might not want to plan 20 random stranger play dates, but it's part of what we consider getting the freight train moving. It's really hard to get a freight train moving. Let's go old school. Think about the coal, think about lighting it, think about building that heat to get the engine going. It takes a lot of work. Once it's going and you have 20 people you're talking to, that's 20 people on your CRM. And we have a tracker, especially if you've ever purchased the revenue infusion bundle with us in the 4X revenue rally, there is a tracker. It's our 5-day marketing challenge. Or if you've been around for a couple of years, you might have access to our 5-day marketing challenge. There is a really nice CRM in there that you can put all of their names. And so like now I have her connection. I could check in saying, hey, I know we're going into the new year. Did your brother-in-law ever start his electrician business? Did he have any questions going into tax season? Innocent question.
And I think that's
Yeah.
super important to remember too, that you said that, because don't ever discount any of the conversations that you're having. Because a lot of people, we always hear them say, oh, I don't know anybody who's a business owner, but you don't know who that knows a business owner that might be needing a bookkeeper. Like you have no idea, because even when it comes to like your Facebook page, a lot of people are like, I don't want to post on my personal page because nobody's a business owner, my friends and family don't care, whatever. They might know a business owner. Like this was a great example. Sherry met this lady, now her brother-in-law is starting a business. You just don't know who you're coming in contact with who might have a connection for you.
So just because it's not this year doesn't mean next year. When I started
Correct.
my business, I identified 3 friends. As odd as that sounds, I'm not telling you to go market to friends and family, but I did. I secretly, silently said, I might have told my husband, because you should tell someone, hey, so-and-so has a business, so-and-so has a business, so-and-so has a business. I would love all 3 of their bookkeeping one day. That's my goal. I have all 3 of their bookkeeping now. It took several years, but a couple of them had bookkeepers for 10 years, over 10 years. And it just so happened like last year, both the unbeknownst, unrelated, both of them came to me and said, hey, you're up. And I'm like, great, fantastic. And I was super excited to get them, but it took time for those particular business owners to come to me. So just because it's not this year, it could be next year. On average, it does take people about 6 years in the accounting, 6 months in the accounting industry to say yes to a proposal. And it's not because anything you're doing, it's just they're running a business too. They have to process it, they have to plan it in the budget. There can be lots of reasons that it takes so long. It could also be on the spot, please just take my money and get this caught up. You have both. Charlie asked real quick, did I go to UNM? I did not. I did not grow up in New Mexico. I married in, and I went to a college in Colorado and then did my master's in Arizona. But do you utilize any networking cohorts through that university? Universities, if you did go to college and you have those connections, you can absolutely network within the college. So if you have, and you don't even have to, like, I could technically network with UNM people just by association of my husband having had gone to UNM. But I wanted to also point out, for especially for those that might be in a similar situation, I have young kids at home. I don't leave them, so I don't necessarily have a babysitting support. So I stay home. I do not leave to do networking groups. I have done virtual networking groups in Albuquerque to meet people, get to know key players in Albuquerque. And I do those. I have found a lot of those, unfortunately, not through Facebook. Facebook is not as popular here, through Alignable. So if that helps anyone to know, but absolutely, if you have a network, you can jump in, even if you didn't go to that college or that you don't work there or stuff like that. Would connecting with businesses listed on the Chamber of Commerce websites work? Yes, absolutely. Sometimes you can even go to like vendor fairs and get to meet them, get to know them, get to know.
I know like our local chamber, they have several events like all the time that you can go to and meet. And you can even get a list of everybody that's in the chamber from the website.
Yeah. And especially if you go and you like their stuff, even if you don't like their stuff, you can say, hey, you can send them a follow-up email. Hey, I connected with you on Saturday. Thank you so much for connecting, and just start that email relationship. That way you can say, hey, I was just at another event, didn't see you there. How are things going? And it gives you the open door to say, oh my gosh, my life is crazy. I'm looking for a bookkeeper. I'm
Right.
so glad you messaged me. It keeps you in top of mind when you send those emails. And it might not even, it just could be, hey, I'm checking in. And you want to do that with your CRM. Even if they don't want your service, they might know someone who can purchase your service. They also might have opportunities. They might know of opportunities. So you can reach out. Hey, how's it going? Oh, hey, I was just at a networking group this morning. Oh, you're at a networking group? I'm looking for a networking group. Like, you start to build these connections that can help you grow your business as well. Jeff says, I thought of offering a $25 referral fee for neighbors in my community Facebook group for getting me new clients. You can absolutely do that.
You can do gift cards even. A lot of people, especially when you're talking about your community, Starbucks gift card, Amazon gift card, they will jump on that quick.
Yeah. Or if there's a local business, you can also support by sending them using their gift cards. Anytime you can do local, do
Yeah,
local.
definitely.
Absolutely. People like Starbucks. I'm just saying, if there was like a local like coffee shop, I would totally choose the local coffee shop over Starbucks, because you get to support
Agreed.
the business owner, and then you get to talk to them. Why are you buying so many gifts? Oh, I'm people that refer me bookkeeping business or CFO clients. I'm giving them your gift cards, and then that's going to start to get their attention, and you're likely talking to managers or owners that can help support you. And as you build that relationship, oh, I want to host a networking event here, or I want to host a training here at your coffee shop. Can I do that? Yeah, you've been buying our gift cards for a year now. Yes, please. Because you're also bringing in business to them. So anytime. So just a tangent, not that Starbucks is bad. Absolutely do Starbucks if you need a gift card. Just different perspectives. Trying to give you guys different perspectives on how to connect with people. How often do you want to follow up? 1 week from connection, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, and you can do this with potential clients. You can also just do this with your network. Okay, so getting your first client by December really is as simple as talking to people. How many people do you have to talk to is really up to the people you are talking to. The closer you can get to business owners, the closer you can get to your ideal clients, the better. But keep in mind, as we're making connections, as we're building this community around the season where we're building a business, any connection gets you closer. Just like that play date I took from Chick-fil-A. Not only does that get you out of your shell, it gets you out of your own like mindset, because it's a conversation with another adult sometimes, especially if you're just behind the computer all day long. I have seen bookkeepers who get really stuck because they're trying to do this virtual networking and they're forgetting about the in-person piece. And as soon as they add that in-person piece, it all comes together. So don't neglect one or the other. It's not one or the other. It can be both. Even when I had 2 under 2 and I was not leaving my house, I was only marketing virtually, I still had an in-person community through my local church where I was still talking to people. There were business owners there too that I could talk to and just serve. I wasn't necessarily looking to add people from my church as clients because I wanted separate relationships there. And most of my clients are actually from that church. So yeah, here we are. But I didn't want that to be the main driver of building personal relationships, but they can absolutely work together. And if you get into a position where you've taken a friend on as a client, there are things you can do to separate your friendship from the business relationship. Keeper is great for that. Setting boundaries is great for that. Hey, if I message you via Keeper, that is business. If I text you from my personal phone, it is personal. If I text you from my business phone because you want text, that's business. You can ignore those, but respond to my personal. Like, you can set up some guidelines to make that better.
Guys, we just opened the doors on our Bookkeeping Pro program. And this program is really a super all-inclusive program where we work with you to really set up and build this stable bookkeeping business. So what do you get, right? You get access to our course. So this is a super comprehensive course where we guide you through everything from setting up the business to marketing the business and everything in between. Anything, little thing that you can think of, it's probably in that course. And then on top of that, you get 2 one-on-one calls So you get to use those with any of us, any of our coaches. We can talk about bookkeeping issues that you might run into. We can talk about mindset, marketing. There's so many different things, tech, really, any type of problem that you could see yourself running into. There's somebody that can help you with that. And you have 2 of those to use. That's included in this package. We have multiple calls per week where they are just like this, a Zoom setting where you come in, you get to unmute, talk about your whatever issues might arise, any questions you have, anything like that. So over encompassing, we support you. It's a lot of support in this program. Now, so that's the Bookkeeping Pro. We just started this. This is the first time we're doing this, right? This cohort, we're calling it.
Yep.
Super fun. It's going to be even higher touch support. So we're doing an additional call with you guys every week. That's with Megan and Sherry. I'll be on there too. But that's where you guys are going to be able to come in and get answers directly from Megan or Sherry. On top of that, within the cohort, we're doing a contest. So we talked today about getting your first client, right? We have now gamified that. We are making it fun. We want you to go out there and we want you to be successful. So what better way to do that than to make it a competition, right? So we made it fun and we're giving away $500 to the winner of this competition. $500 in a Visa gift card. We're going to send it to you right before Christmas so that you can get $500 shopping spree for Christmas time to the winner. So we are super excited about this. If you guys are interested, I can drop the link or you can schedule a call if you have a few more questions that you would like to get answered before pulling the trigger on that.
This is like my main time to market when it comes to bookkeeping. I prefer to market now instead of tax season. I don't push for new clients in tax season. A lot of bookkeepers do get a lot of clients in tax season, but know that this is when I grow my business the most every year and I eat it up. Now is the time to be marketing your business, putting yourself out there if you haven't already, letting your friends and family know they're going to work. They are interacting with other people. When they hear someone say, oh, I just started a roofing business, tax season, guess who's going to come to mind? Oh, my daughter-in-law does bookkeeping. If you're looking for help with XYZ, so now's the time. And if you do want that hand holding, we are here for you throughout the rest of the quarter to keep you on track. Absolutely. And that's all through the cohort. You get access to all the calls, everything that we normally do in the program. This is just bonus to really make sure that you are signing a client by the end of the year. Our goal is for you to have a client or 2 clients paying about $500 a month between the 2 of them. If not, 1 client at $500 a month, and we're going to help you onboard them. We're going to help you do the work. We're going to help you execute the work. We're going to help you quote the clients. So if you're really feeling nervous, or if you're just feeling like, hey, I've been operating a bookkeeping business and it's not going the way I wanted, this is a great time to reset, take charge of it and do it.
Awesome. Y'all have a awesome weekend.
Bye guys.